Kalimera, Kalispera, wherever time you're watching. This is Mappa. I'm Stel, Thassos is here, and we have a very special guest over to my left. Thassos, do you want to introduce our special guest since you're very good at introducing special guests?
Am I? Thank you very much. Well, as Stel says, we have a very, very, very special guest. We've got a friend of ours who helped us run go through the charity marathon podcast. We've got Vassos. How are you doing, Vassos? Yeah, golf clap.
Hello, guys. Thank you for having me on your pod tonight. It's a pleasure and honor to be with you to talk about this is Mappa, what's going on in our league, and the fascinating championship that we have. We never believed, at some point that it's going to be like this. And here we are, 3 games before the end, and there are 3 teams, to my opinion, that they have their chances winning the championship because all 3 teams face each other. So it's not that they're waiting for other results to come. Maybe Omonia needs another result to get it, but it's a really fascinating championship that we have.
Vassos, what surprised you this season the most about the league? Because a lot has happened. A lot.
What surprised me, really, it's the competitiveness. Starting the league, back in August, late August, we all thought that Aris and Paphos are the 2 new teams that they will be for sure running for the championship until the end. There was a big question mark with Anorthosis and AEL moving back to the Somatio, let's say, to the club, because before they used to be run by Mr. Poulaidis and Mr. Sophocleous. APOEL last 3 years had financial problems, so it was a big question mark there. And Omonia, after, let's say, winning the cup in the last 2 seasons, for me, still, my opinion is that they were not very successful in the league the last 2 seasons after winning it. So, at the beginning, when the first rounds of the championship passed, I thought it was Aris, Paphos. AEK didn't make a good start, so to be honest, I put an X on them. Not because of the 5-6 rounds that we saw, but at the end of the first round, let's say, after not after the 5-6 games, but after the first round of the regular season finished, they were very behind. And I think it's a big surprise coming now mid-April, three rounds before the final, 3 last games, to have those 3 teams running for the championship. I don't know, what about your opinion?
Well, we were talking about AEK under Ultra when they, I think they lost to AES and they drew against Othello. And we didn't know what was going on at the club. They had a great season last season in the Conference League, and obviously their league form suffered, which is to be expected because of the strength and depth that they didn't have. But for them to start off so poorly was a shock to us anyway. But then again, at the same time, we think about the amount of players that joined the club, and they had injuries to Gushko, and Faraj wasn't firing on all cylinders, and Tyskovsky clearly wasn't in favour. Plus the new defence, because Rosales had left. They brought in Roberge, Cadelari, who's I can't remember the last time he kicked the ball for him. So there was a transitional phase, but you'd think that the way that Ultra had them set up, they would be doing what they normally do, and that's get the ball out wide and put it in the box. And even then, they weren't doing it like they used to. But then once Ben Shimon came in,
and defensively, they suffered a lot with Ultra. They conceded a lot of goals. If you remember Thassos as well, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess it's they would play this high line, and AEK don't. The defense doesn't have necessarily the pace to be able to deal with that, especially with some of the faster forwards that have come into the league lately. So I'm just thinking about players like Cabrera at Ethnico, for instance, or who's the one at Ayes is rapid. We talked Castro, exactly. Yeah. So there's there's players that basically they had speed that defense like Ajax couldn't deal with, and I think that's one of the things that Ramben Shimon did is he looked at the strengths of the team, kind of changed the team around to fit the strengths of the players. Whereas Ultra, for as good as a manager he was trying to get the players that he had to fit into a system he wanted to play.
Mm-hmm.
And we've seen that with a few other coaches this season. But sometimes it doesn't work, and that's what happened with Ultra. I think as well, Ramben Shimon came in with his psychology degree and got into their AEK players' heads and got them to go on this fantastic run that they've been on. What surprised me is actually the way Aris have fallen off. Like it's kind of a big drop off. It was like it's not even like a gradual one. It's been they started off all cylinders firing like they normally do, and then from like January onwards, it's just gone. And it's a strange one.
Sorry, Stel, just about Aris, because Thassos mentioned this. And
fine.
I was having on my pod with Mario, some friends of Aris after winning the championship. I said to them that it's not going to be easy dealing Europe and winning the championship again. Not only because in the league they know you now, what kind of a team you are, and they are not underestimating Aris anymore, but also so many games that you have to play. And from going abroad, and with my experience with Apoel all these years, going abroad, finding it's a good thing flying abroad to play European game, and you put everything there. Coming back psychologically, even if you want to, and if you're a football player, you cannot do it. You feel so empty. And it was very difficult dealing the Cyprus League with Europe. Every year that Apoel had to face these things, we suffered until we won the championship. Even we believed we had a good team. But because of the Europe thing, it was very difficult. And if you remember when Apoel went to the last eight, they didn't win the championship in Cyprus. So it was a big risk for Aris. Even if they have a big squad, even if they have the professionals there, it doesn't mean that you're going to succeed the next season and the season after. This is my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
No, you're spot on, and there's other things as well that you need to factor with. Oh, he's gone. Is he gone? I don't know. He might have an incoming call if he's on his iPad. Oh, he's gone. He's gone. Okay, no problem. He'll be back. He'll be back. But again, as I was saying, I think the other things that you need to factor when it comes to European exploits, obviously the quality is a difference. So you're playing against higher opposition, higher level opposition. You're tactically different as well. You're not going to have the ball as much, so you're doing a lot more running off the ball. The training is going to be different. The training sessions, the pitches are going to be different. They're going to be better, but even that makes a difference. Then you've got the other things. The adrenaline comes in, and some players lose their heads. The pressure, not just the pressure to perform, but also not to get a spanking, but also to put themselves in the shop window. So there's so many psychological factors and physical factors that come into play when it comes to European games. But the thing is, do you remember the season when Omone finished first and Anotos finished second, like on goal difference, when the season was cancelled, pandemic?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Abor going into that year as the defending champions, right?
Yeah, that didn't go well.
Yeah. The following season, Omoni became unofficial champions, but the following season we won the title, right? And the year after that, Apollon won it, and then Ari won it. If you think about it, the common denominator here is that the last four champions, the last four official champions, Abuel, Omonia, Apollon, and Ari, they've all failed to mount a title challenge the year after they've won the title.
Mm-hmm.
Think about it. Ari this season fell off. Apollon last season, Omonia the year before, and even Abuel, the pandemic, when season was cut, it was Anorthos and Omonia going for the title.
Yeah, so there's other factors involved in that as well. That's things like, for instance, if we talk about Apollon, look at the title-winning team compared to the team the season after. How many players they changed?
Yeah,
it's things like that as well. So
sacking managers at the beginning of the season doesn't help either. Zorniger was out the door before the season even started.
Zorniger, yes. Yeah, when the games against Maccabi or Maccabi, Habbo. Yeah. Maccabi Haifa, yes. Sorry.
That's right. So, anyway. Right. Shall we go into our Group B party?
Group B party.
Group B party time. Turn your speakers down, boys and girls. It's going to be a loud one. Oh, we all love a Group B party, don't we? And especially AEL. Can't remember the last time they were in Group A. Anyway, sorry. Baba Fodi gave them the lead against Othello before Noera made it 2. Vangelis Andreu made it 3 on the stroke of half-time before Christodoulou and Gatsai, I can't even say the name, and I'm Cypriot. But yeah, he made it 3-2. I can't even do it. I can't do it. It doesn't matter. I've done it in the English way. It's fine. I've helped out the non-Cypriot, non-Greek speaking people. So yeah, 3-2 victory for AEL. Then we're going to move over to Salamina, where Apollon won by 2-0. Pretty much a dead rubber game, but Apollon warming up for the second leg against Buffer, Bakenga giving the lead, and then Leoko making it 2-0. An OG, not good for the Dream Team. Now, interesting game in Aachen, where Ethnigo beat AES by 6 goals to 2. That basically sent AES down. Get the violins out, boys and girls. Not the Johnny violins, by the way. Drazic equalized before, Stefanios gave them the lead. Drazic equalized. Ilya made it 2. Then he made it 3. Cabrera made it 4 and 5. Dingini pulled one back. And then Rizevski made it 6-2. And that was it. Kalinichta. Goodbye, AES. Nice knowing you. Don't know when you're going to be back, but hey, I don't think you can call your friends in Limassol to help you out next season. Maybe. I don't know. I'm just guessing. Did I say too much? I don't know. Cabrera, absolutely phenomenal season he's had. Absolutely incredible. And then the 6-pointer was a 2-1 victory for Garmiodissa against Doxa. Angeli gave Garmiodissa the lead. Druic equalized, but Tsugala made it 2-1. But there was one incident that Thassos pointed out, and it was a substitution. Gol came on for Garmiodissa, apparently. I don't remember him playing for Garmiodissa, but CableNet said that he plays for Garmiodissa. So there you go. He's a Garmiodissa player. Poor Ezra Cole. At least he's going to be playing Protathlima next season, I guess. But yeah, 2-1 victory for Garmiodissa. They're staying up. It looks like it. And it looks like Doxa are DOWN, unfortunately, for our friends Ernest and Alex.
Yep, pretty much.
Vaso, I need to ask you about Aachena's season. They have impressed me. They've impressed Thassos. They've impressed a lot of people. Sachak came in after Anke Lopez left. People like Cabrera being phenomenal. Obviously, Mario Ilia has been firing on all cylinders, especially in Group B. He went through a barren spell without scoring goals. What do you think Sachak's done different at Ethnigo?
Really, I don't know what he has done differently, but what you said, I agree totally with you, because it's amazing. I know Ethnico, since they've been to the first division, I think the first time it was 79, maybe 80. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm not sure. But I remember when I was 13, 14 years old going to Gasaki Achnas watching Ethnikos. And it's the first time that I remember Ethnikos scoring so many goals, even when the time they had Music and Churev and Pachalis and Castanas, they wouldn't score so many goals, even though it's a Group B, okay? But it doesn't make any difference for me. And they're having a phenomenal, as you said, since the time that Marinos took over. And Cabrera and Mario Cilia, each of them scored 16 goals, if I'm not mistaken. Even though I don't know whether they're going to be first goal scorers of the league because they belong to the second group. I don't know this. Thasso and Stel.
It's weird how they work it out. I think they only do it based off of the first round, so they don't count the
playoff games.
Group B games. Yeah.
Or maybe they will divide each goal by 2, like they do it in Europe.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, it's very.
But yes, and I was lucky enough to have Apostolos Makridis on my pod with Marios, and we discussed a lot. He's the technical director of Ethnikos, and he told me they're trying to work professionally. He was the one who was insisting after the Spanish coach left to bring Marinos in, and they succeeded. And I was surprised, to be honest. He's leaving now. I don't know where he's going.
In the season, yeah.
And it's for sure that he found a team in Europe. And don't forget, Ilias Charalambous passed from Ethnikos. Maybe it's a coincidence. And he's in Romania, in the biggest club of Romania.
Close to winning the title, is that right?
Yeah, he's 13 points clear from Universitatea Cluj. 13 points in front. And he's winning the title for Steaua with a president that we all know what he's about. Maybe there's
Who's
a chemistry between. What president, huh?
Don't know who you're talking about.
That's what explain to him.
Oh no, he knows. He's being coy.
Sarcastic now. He's making fun of me. Okay.
Oh, wait, no. His name's been mentioned before, but off camera.
Okay. I didn't say the name. Okay. Anyway, Marinos did a fantastic job for me. I mean, and it's a joy to watch Ethnikos plays at some times when it's a Friday or a Saturday, and I'm waiting for the games of the A group. I prefer to watch Ethnikos than other teams, to be honest with you.
I think as well they've concentrated a lot on Cypriot players as well.
Yes.
So they've got a lot of Cypriot players in their team, and that's to an advantage to any scouters looking, for instance. But they've been doing fantastically well. Just a secret for everybody as well. I've got Cabrera as a captain on my fantasy team, so that's why I'm winning.
Oh, okay. Well done, Thassos.
There you go. See,
I've taken my eye off the ball. I haven't been using my brain for this one. I haven't been using my brain.
Now,
heart over head.
Now, I think we also need to bring up, since we're talking about Group B, is that basically it's done now, right? There's not
nothing.
It's done. I mean, Ayers are down mathematically. They're down. They're 18 points adrift. There's only 15 points left to play for, so they're gone. But Othello's, I think, are 11 points below Garmiodissa right now, and Doxa at 10. And I said last week that for Doxa to do anything, or even Othello's to do anything, Doxa needed to beat Garmiodissa, and it didn't happen. So, the next, basically the next 5 games, they're all for the sake of Pirilia. There's nothing else. There's nothing else going on there, is there?
It's a shame.
Go on.
Demo.
Oh, no, I mean, it's a big question, and I had this question today with Marios having the pot. What's going to happen next year? We know that it's going to finish. It's a 3-year plan that the Cyprus Football Federation had with 14 teams and the 6-8 system, that we have now. But then 2025, 2026, they have to make a decision now about the 2025, 2026, because teams should know what is going to happen in this championship starting in August.
Yeah.
We can, my opinion, we cannot continue like the way we are now. 14 teams, 6 teams on the top, and then teams for the relegation zone, with 4 out of the 8 teams in the big group playing for nothing.
Mm-hmm. So there's a couple of things you can do. So, for instance, one is to either not have the second phase altogether and have everybody play 2 times, 4 times, whatever, or maybe increase the league by another 2 teams, and then you've got 16-team league. Everybody plays each other twice. It's 30 games. Another thing you could do is obviously relegate 5 teams next season and promote only 3. That way you've got 6 and 6. You could have 8 in the championship and 6 in the relegation group, if you want to keep it 14 teams. Or I think it's in Belgium where they do it, is you get the team's points, and then when the split happens, you divide it by 2.
Yeah.
And that makes it more competitive, especially at the bottom.
Yeah. They are doing this in Belgium, and I saw the league now. I mean, Union Saint-Gilloise with Anderlecht starting. I mean, if you have 67 points, you start with 34. You gain if you have you gain the half up. You're not going down, and it's interesting. But I don't know what is happening in the other league. I mean, the big group. What they are doing there? Are they dividing the points as well there?
It would make sense to, because it would mean as well, I think, that those mid-table teams that didn't quite make the jump into the top group would still have something to play for at the end, or would have to play for something at least in the first few matches to make sure they don't get relegated.
And sorry to say, I mean, I think the team that finishes first in the big group plays for the conference playoffs with the teams finishing 4th or 5th of the Group A in Belgium and
it happens in Denmark as well. It happens in Denmark, something like that. Yeah.
In Belgium for sure, and I'm not sure whether it's in the Netherlands and also in Denmark. I think it's something like this. But I will ask you a question. What do you think the 2025-26 championship should be, with 14 teams, 12 teams, 10 teams playing 4 times, 16 teams? What is your opinion on that, guys?
Well, I'll go first because Stel looks like he needs to mull it over for a bit. So either if you're going to have the split, I think it's the 6-6 split. You can't have an uneven split. It doesn't make sense. So it needs to be 12 teams. There's some people that are saying, well, you could still have an even split and have 7 and 7, but that would mean last game of the season there's a team that doesn't play a game and therefore could end up getting out of Europe or getting relegated without kicking a ball. So that's not fair. So it needs to be 6 and 6, I think, if you're going to have a split. If you don't have a split, I don't think you should have everybody playing each other 4 times. They've got that in Scotland a little bit, and I don't know. It's just personal. I don't like it. So if you're gonna have a full season, it's better to have 16 teams, have each other play each other twice,
and then finish.
Oh
my God, Stel, Thassos, you're killing me.
Why?
But because I don't believe that 16 teams in a country of 1 million is. And then you're killing the second division completely, because no players want to go to the second division to play, because they want to be in the first division. And also, before letting Stel to tell his opinion. In Scotland, don't forget that it's only Rangers and Celtic, where they have 10 teams playing each other 4 times. Here, with the competitiveness that we have, you could have 36 games with 5-6 teams going until the end, if the teams are stronger. It's not that Apoel and Omonia at the old times that they would capture everything. They're not alone anymore.
Yeah.
And it's a Stel City Nomisis.
I haven't thought about this too much because I love football. I love watching football, but then I look at the gulf in ability between the second division and the first division, and I worry because I look at, say, for example, Olympiacos. Okay, they're going to struggle. I don't think they're going to come up. So it's probably going to be Paralimni plus the other two that are already up. And Paralimni, we know they're a good team. But what about the other teams like your Agridas and all the other ones that have played in the first division before? So there's a gulf in class. Now, obviously, you can talk about the outside influences being agents or investors or whatever. But the fact is, we can't have yo-yo clubs in the Protathlima. We can't have it. Because don't get me wrong, as much as it was great seeing Ethnigo back in the first division, they're only down for 1 year. Okay? How many teams that are going to come up have been down once more than one season? Well, this is going to be Omonia's first season in the big league ever. I can't remember the last time that they were in the league.
18
years.
28
years. 1996.
Right. And then you got Paralimni who are up last season, Olympiacos, the next challengers. So one out of the three. So in my ideal world, to make it competitive, and this is just me thinking off the top of my head, take it to 12 teams, right? For the Protathlima, split it 6 and 6, but 4 go down. Play each other twice, and then when you come to the split, you play each other twice again, but 4 go down out of the 6.
That's an interesting one.
Dortmund scored now. Anyway, update.
Yeah.
It's a big question.
Pedro is sending me WhatsApp messages. I don't know what Pedro. I'm doing a live. Why is sending me WhatsApp messages? You weirdo. Honestly,
he's watching as well, so he knows.
Flipping hell.
So, just aware that we're on 28 minutes, and I haven't been through the news, and there's plenty of news in the Group B, so I'm gonna try and blast through it.
Go on.
Good one. German investors, AL, like it. Yeah. So, obviously, we spoke about last week. AL president coming out and saying, we've got some European investors coming to the club. And Gergida reported that it was German investors, and they were getting on a plane to come to the General Assembly that the AL Somadio were going to do. Now, what's happened since is that the investors pulled out. So first of all, is they weren't coming to Cyprus anymore, but they were still in discussion with AL, and then it developed and they pulled out, and then after that, just completely separate from that, the AL president, the existing AL president, announced he will not be running for re-election, and then an hour later, reports came out that the investors are interested again. Those two things have got nothing to do with each other. I'm just pointing that out. Those two things have got nothing to do with each other.
The Germans were halfway back home, and then they got a radio in from the tower at Larnaca, and they just spun the airplane back.
Although there was one person that we know that was being very difficult in the possible investment for AL last season. Now, the fact that they're gone, that person is going, is an interesting development for AL, isn't it? Anyway, I'm going to leave that where it is. If anybody wants to comment.
But do you think it's so easy for somebody to, out of nothing, in 1 month, 2 months, to come here, take over a football team, with a history like AEL.
Well, no. So you're right. There was this. This has been brewing for a long time. I mean,
okay.
the deal that me and Stel knew about was happening for a very, very long time in the background, until something happened and the deal got broke off. Like,
I don't know if it's the same people though.
No, it might not be the same people exactly, and it broke off a couple of even hours before the Nikos Christodoulidis gave the press conference at the general
assembly
assembly last year. So people work very hard to get these deals across, and then somebody comes in at the last minute and goes, actually, and probably the same thing was happening again. Somebody whispered something and Christodoulidis left. But conjecture on my part. That's not been reported anywhere, and that's not been confirmed anywhere. That's just me pulling guesses out of my ass.
Thasso, listen, let's get it straight, right? Any investor that goes to purchase, whether it be a football club or a business, they need to do their due diligence, okay?
Exactly.
And if they're serious, then they're going to do everything by the book, okay? Now, I don't know AEL's financial situation. I don't know where money is coming and going from, and et cetera, et cetera. But for this club to be in the financial mess that it is, this has been a culmination of mismanagement for a long time. A long time. So if anyone wants to come in and purchase the club, they're not just going to purchase the club, they're going to purchase everything around it. So whether it be futsal, volleyball, that's what they're going to want to do. But then they're going to have to improve on the marketing, the branding, everything. That club has been lacking for a long time. The one thing that is a little bit difficult is that they don't have their own stadium. Like, it doesn't belong to them, right? The Alpha Mega, it doesn't belong to them. So perhaps this investor is going to think about building a new stadium in the future. You just never know. But are they credible? And that's what AEL need. They need someone that's credible, because while there are a lot of credible club owners in Cyprus, there are a lot of investors who aren't. Let's put it that way. And a club AEL's size cannot go through the ringer. They can't. They can't afford to. Because next thing you know, they'll be out of business. Huh?
They can't go through the ringer again.
But if this doesn't go through, right, they're in big trouble, and they could go through insolvency, mate. That's where the problem lies.
Yeah. No, that's for sure. Yeah. That's a big one. Let's see. What's next? Oh, we've not had confirmation yet, but obviously media outlets in Cyprus like to pick up on a whisper and throw it around everywhere. But you're going to have to update your manager exit photo soon, apparently, with Bedrag Doxa head coach Bedragi apparently handed his resignation in following Doxa losing to Karmiotissa, and said to the goodbyes to the players this morning. But again, we're still waiting on the official confirmation from the club itself to say that that's gone through. So that's an interesting one, isn't it? I guess Bedrag is seen basically. This is losing to Karmiotissa was kind of the thing that set this club down. I can't. Yeah. So what was that our mate Garavida said?
I will go down. I will go down when I want to go down. The translation is like that, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
I'm not.
So
like
maybe he wants to go down.
I will down.
His poor wife.
Oh my God.
Ares is true.
Yeah, he's gone. He's gone. Another person who's apparently gone. There you go. I'm good at it. While he recomposes himself, is that apparently Sachas, according to the same media sources, that Sachas has been given his given his right to leave right now, so he doesn't need to wait till the end of the season with Ethnigor. And basically, it's because that their VGC is looking to start building for the summer now, so kind of search for a coach and the rest of it. It also means Sachas can start looking for apartments for wherever he's going in Europe. But yeah. And what else have I got? I've also got something for Garmiodissa as well. Do you wanna play?
Oh, no way.
Do you wanna play?
Oh, yes, okay. Thank God it's back. Johnny Violins.
Beautiful. He's back. You know, he went a couple of weeks without going on Supersport FM to talk about his ideas and his thoughts. And this week after the Loxai game, he went on Supersport FM to how do I say this nicely? Well, no, I'm trying to get a cease and desist from Garmiodissa. So he basically went in the Garmiodissa's president Demosthenos. He really enjoys Demosthenos' company. He called the Garmiodissa president Pandelonado, which if you translate that directly, it means trouserful. For people who don't speak Greek. Now,
it's like Caravida, I will go down when I want to go down. On you.
Now, he as well. Well, yeah.
It's an XX podcast.
Oh my God.
Speaking of Bandelonados, he also had stuff to say about the ball boys. Something.
No.
It's after 11. We can't say anything.
It's fine. I'll get this out of the way, and then we can.
Γελά ο Στέλ. Δεν πιστεύει.
Oh my God. Right, I'm gonna. So, a he really did. He called Demosthenos a proedro pandelonado. Yeah. So, a ball boy was sent off. However, there is a rule in place allowing the referee to send ball boys off. There is a seminar in place to train up the ball boys. If the president hadn't got involved, an academy game was going to be cancelled because one of the ball boys threw the ball back in onto the pitch at the wrong time. There were some people that insisted that game be cancelled. If they did that, they would have written us a song. Yeah. So, yeah, Bandelonados presidents and ball boys not behaving themselves still. You all right there?
It's fine.
Did you enjoy this segment of Johnny Violins?
The best one ever.
Guys, how easy it's for you in London and in Paris to gather all this information, even happening one day ago or some hours ago, to gather the information?
So, for me, especially with the smaller clubs, people don't really go on Facebook and look at what the smaller clubs are putting up on Facebook.
Okay.
That's where like Ethnikos, Garmiodissa up to a point. We're doing Othello's does a lot on Facebook as well. So it's quite easy. The other thing as well is, you know, I've got Gerkida and Supersport, and check every hour. What kind of insanity is there this hour to talk about?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So So every hour you go online to see what is happening either on Facebook or Tequila and Supersport.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, exactly.
Or we'll check Twitter because some employees of clubs let things slip on social media and they don't know who's watching. So we kind of pick up a few things there.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So it's easy. Some days it's difficult, but some days it's easy. Like today, I was like, we need to have a Johnny Violins bit. Let me just check about Super Sport Carbio di Sa. There he was, and look at that, beautiful little bit of text.
Amazing. Yeah.
And he's just given us one of the greatest moments this show has ever seen. So yeah,
You see?
Obviously Vassos has helped out in a big way.
sorry, Stelmo. He came to me and he told me, "I go down when I want to go down." That's what he told me.
My goodness, this guy. If I ever meet that guy, I'd just be like, nah.
I will introduce you to him if you want.
I can't look at him in the face. I can't. Just can't.
What about if you win the Landua?
I still don't even know how to buy the tickets.
Yes, see, we still don't know how to get the Lahio for it. Oh, Vasso doesn't know. So
Vasso doesn't know.
A couple of weeks ago, Voxa announced that they were giving away Lahia. Not giving away. You could buy a Lahio for €50, and you'd be entered into a draw to win.
A
like a moped.
I think I saw it something like that. Anyway,
yeah. we wanted to enter, but you can't buy them online. So we'd have won.
Huh?
We would have won because no one else has bought them. So. Thassos, shall we move on to the fun part?
We can move on to the fun part.
Let's move on to the fun part. Okay, Group A. Huh?
Up tonight was not the fun part before.
No. This was the appetizer. This is the fun part. I guess the shenanigans are going to start now. You never know. Right, boys and girls. Omonia went to Anastasi and got a 2-0 victory. Blimey, back in the title race, goals from Alium and Willy Semedo gave only the 3 points, but Semedo and Alium celebrated very aggressively, and apparently this is why. Let's see if we got the footage. There you go. Did you hear that?
Yeah, so I didn't know about
that.
Was it at halftime that this happened?
Well, the noises were being done before both of the goals, but this footage was taken after Semedo's goal.
Oh, okay, after. Okay.
Yeah, but that was the reason, as I understand, why both these players, well, Semedo, why he celebrated in the way that he did. Alium, I don't think that's why he did, because I think his celebration was just being young and not realizing what he was doing. But Semedo's goal, that was a reaction to the noises that were hurled towards Alium. And then, yeah. So there you go. So, yes.
Yeah.
That's all. Your thoughts on the game, my friend?
Yeah, listen, I've extolled so many times about how much I like Semedo, and I'm really pissed off that we didn't get him in the summer. I didn't even know we were supposed to get him in the summer until Pedridi went on the Orange Legacy podcast and told everybody about it, which wound me up because the player that we kind of got as a replacement is
Eduardo.
Yeah, I don't want. I've been very mean to him, and I'm trying not to be mean to him as much as I have been. But yeah, he's not Semedo. The other player as well that has, I think, been fantastic for Omonia since he's come in is Alium, and I kind of said it from when he first showed up to games Like he was coming off the bench and putting in some performances. And he's a very, very good player, and it's a player that I think, because he's on loan at the moment, isn't he still?
From Hammarby, yes.
Yeah. So either Hammarby are going to kind of grab hold of him and never let him go, or Omonia are going to have to pay quite a bit to bring him in, because
apparently it's over 300k.
Is that it? Is that it?
Yeah, that's what I heard as well. 350,000 euros to get him.
I wouldn't even think about it. Sort it out now. Get it done now before the season's done.
No, they will do it, I think.
Because he's a very, very good player. He's been very important, especially in the uptick in form that Omonia have had. But yeah, really good.
Vasso, where do you think it went wrong for Anorthosis? Because to be fair, first half, I think it was like a game of chess. Both teams were cancelling each other out. They're both being very physical, very good pressing. I think the positional sense of the Anorthosis players, especially in wide areas, is fantastic. They got three at the back with Makunas effectively as a holding midfielder and pushing forward. And Omonia just couldn't get in behind them. It was only getting the ball out in wide areas. So what do you think happened in the second half for Omonia to step up a gear? Did you notice anything different in how they played or how Anorthosis played?
You're asking me?
We'll ask both of you.
All right. I've
done my analysis. I've done in the members area.
See, I'm a little bit skewed with my opinion because I watched your analysis, but I think what Oka did was he did the same thing he did against Apoel. Not necessarily the formation, but the fact that he looked at what the weakness was of the team he was playing and tried to play to them. And then that changed. Something changed. I don't know what changed. I think you said during your analysis it was that Makun got that yellow card, and that changed the game. And yeah. Mario's got a good comment as well. Is obviously you've got the injury that Bezos had in the 25th minute that affected Omonia's performance during the first half at least. Even if Bezos is Bezos, right? He does what he does, and sometimes he doesn't. But when you've got an injury to a player like that, and the type of injury you got as well, it can affect the psychology of a team a little bit. So it's about picking them up, isn't it? Those were my thoughts on it.
Vasso, to me, Bemo, what did you make of that performance from Omonia, and also how Anorthosis kind of fell off in the last 20 minutes of the game?
Okay, to my opinion, because there was the time that Aris was playing against AEK and was trying to watch both games, and then I switched to Omonia Anorthosis because I was very stressed to watch Aris against AEK. So I was watching Omonia on mute, so I wouldn't hear that if somebody scored at Alpha Mega. I agree with the friend that he wrote that the Bezos injury might have had an effect because it was a serious injury, even though whoever the player is, readjusting, bringing a new player psychologically, as Thassos said, it can, let's say, take your mind away from the game. I mean, to readjust to the game. And Mr. Anastasiou, to my opinion, he's a coach that he knows and he reads the opponent very well, and he's very well prepared to face either Aris or Apoel, and now Anorthosis, because when Aris played against Anorthosis and when Apoel played against Anorthosis, Mr. Spilevsky and Mr. Sabindo, to my opinion about football, they did a very bad job the way Anorthosis was defending, Stel. I didn't watch your analysis, but to my opinion. And don't forget that Anorthosis, with the players now, they have 5-6 players out from the team. They had injury problems. They had players out with yellow cards. They don't have the quality or the depth on the squad to have 3 games in a row on a high level. So I think it was normal for Omonia to establish who is the boss here after the interval. That's my opinion. I don't know if you agree, guys.
No, I do. I mean, I said said already the bit about Sapinto that he couldn't deal with how Anorthosis had set up, because they'd set up specifically to deal with everything that he could throw at them. So he couldn't think of anything new to throw at them. And it's the same thing with Shpilevsky, but Shpilevsky has a his ethos is, I'm not going to change the way I play. It's up to the other team to change the way they play.
I am at it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's a negative thing for Shpilevsky as a coach. In general, he has a system, and it's up to you to work around me, not the other way around, which works. It works a lot, and sometimes it doesn't work, and it didn't against Anorthosis.
Yeah.
And look, I want to touch on this. I don't want to spend too long on it because I don't want it to dominate, but it's clearly something that we need to mention, and that was the those noises that we heard. And unfortunately, this is something that occurs quite a lot in Cyprus. Okay, I haven't heard it in a while, I'm not going to lie, but just because I haven't heard it doesn't mean it doesn't happen. I think the Players Union have got a hell of a job to do with trying to help get rid of this, because they need to support the players for a start, because number one, there are lots of black players in Cyprus and they don't want to be, they shouldn't be subjected to that. And number two, for the future of Cypriot football, these things happening is going to put off players coming out here, or going out there, shall I say. And as I said, PASP got a very, very difficult job to support the players. But I also believe that the CFA have got a responsibility, as do the clubs, but the CFA especially. Now, I'm not going to say that this is a cultural thing, because not everyone in Cyprus is racist. There's a pocket of people, just like in the UK and various other countries. The problem that we have in the UK is that while you can't eradicate it, even identifying the culprits is difficult. So how do you expect that to happen in Cyprus? Is there a solution to this problem? Is there a way to cut it down, at least? Is there a way? I don't know.
Well, I think there's a little bit to be done by the referee there as well, because, you know, I'm guessing the referee could hear those monkey chants, right? So it's very simple. You pull the players off the pitch. But that's it. Because you won't be able to find the culprit, so you pull the players off the pitch, and then it's the responsibility of it's very simple, right? There's no away fans. So you know that it's a home fan issue. So that's how you tackle it. At least this season, anyway. If they don't bring back away fans next season, but I think that's how you end up dealing with it, and it's going to be very unpopular.
Yes, we have it everywhere in the world, and in Spain lately we have it with Vinicius and the things that are happening there. And it's not UEFA. It's not only saying something that we are against racists. They have to do something to find something to do about this. And the strange thing that sometimes when I hear it, or when they start to chant, and maybe others next to them, they have players, black guys themselves in their team. And it's amazing how, let's say in a nice way, how destroyed we think. When we have players, black guys in our team, and we're chanting this nonsense to the other black guys of the other team, Our players hear this. It's unbelievable, guys.
Yeah, it
It's
is.
unbelievable.
It is.
I cannot believe it that it's happening in 2024. Hearing these noises,
Hmm.
these chants in stadiums.
Yeah,
I
it's
think UEFA, the Cyprus Football Federation, should be more strict to it. The PASP should protest. But because in Cyprus, everything goes unpunished, everybody's doing it.
yeah. I mean,
And it's not Apoel or Omonia or Anorthosis, or it's everybody, unfortunately.
yeah, Othello's got fined earlier in the season for it. Othello's.
Who was chanting from Othello's fans? I mean, how many people would go to the
Well,
stadium?
that's what I mean. That's what I mean. You know,
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous, Thassos.
it is.
Yeah.
It is. It is. It's something. It's something that needs correcting, and it's very difficult to correct. It's a problem everywhere. It's a problem everywhere.
I remember, and Stel said we shouldn't go on with this, for a long time to discuss, but it was, if I remember well, it was 15 or 20 years ago that this thing was happening. Then it went down a little bit and more, and suddenly now you start to hear it again.
Mm.
That's what I feel. That's what I remember.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, I can say a lot about this because this is something I feel very, very strongly about. But again, I'll need a whole show, and I'm not going to do that. But let's just hope that we can continue to raise awareness about this and try and make people understand that it's not right.
Because I didn't know that had happened. I had no
idea. Neither did I until someone sent it to me. I'm not going to mention who.
Yeah.
But someone sent me that video, and I was just. But hey.
Anyway. And it's not about Apoel or Omonia or Anorthosis or
no.
It's about everybody. It's about everybody.
Yeah. It's not club specific. It's just something that happens. I think it happened with Omonia last season, with EI, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe someone can correct me. I think he was getting racial abuse.
That's 2 seasons ago.
2 seasons. Yes, you're right. 2 seasons ago. Yeah, I think when he was playing for Sheriff. I think it was Sheriff in the Conference League a couple of years ago.
Oh no, then that
was a couple of years ago. Yeah, last season was Europa League with Anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway, right.
So we need to talk about one more thing before we go to the next one. It's that Anorthosis are in a bit of a hole at the moment with the finances.
Well, as Xavi Roca said, they're not Xavi Roca, Cisco Munoz. They're in the shit.
Well, yeah, there you go. Pretty much. I mean, so we've already talked about 5 players going to UEFA about unpaid salaries. So we know the names of 2 of them because the club announced this week that Sergio Castel is leaving at the end of the season.
Yep.
And that Sekou Gassama is leaving immediately based off of kind of the contract terminations that they've agreed with the 2 players. And with that, they've agreed to pay the players off in installments. Now, both of these players were originally signed on contracts until the end of next season. So this is a heavy price to pay for what's going on at the moment. Now, as well, as of 4 hours ago, Anorthosis put out a statement saying that what is it? I've got it here. The board of directors. Oh yeah, exactly. The board of directors of Anorthosis Famagusta informed that the participation in the program so far is far from the goal set, with the number of 400 participations still far from the 4,500 plus season ticket holders. Sorry, I copied and pasted this very quickly, and I'm reading my Twitter notes, and I did it very badly. Unfortunately, the number of renewals of the East and West stands is also lower than expected. The contribution of €100 from each permanent holder, as well as the immediate renewal of the VIP boxes within the next few days, can give significant relief to the accumulated financial needs. If the number of those who did not renew was the number of those who did, today the club would have avoided a significant number of problems that plague it and need immediate settlement. So, yeah. Basically, they found out the same thing that Abuel found out in December, January. Yeah. So yeah. Do you want to read what that comment says?
Bolis says the agreement is to pay the salaries they owe them until the termination date, not the full contract. So Anastassis is just offloading heavy contracts and lowering their budget.
Yeah.
No?
So that's fine. But yeah, obviously Anastassis have come back for a second time to their fans to renew season tickets earlier and renew their VIP boxes earlier by putting €100 deposit on that. And they haven't had enough people come back to that. So they found out, obviously, there's a cost of living crisis everywhere. Everybody's suffering a little bit from it. Some people more than others. And Abuel found that out with the ticket scheme that they put forward in December and January, and our officers are finding that out now. The best will in the world, the fans want to help the team. It's just sometimes the additional financial strain that the clubs are asking the fans to put forward is very difficult for them to put forward at this difficult time for them as well. And I think the clubs need to understand that. And at the moment, they're like, give us your money, like Bob Geldof and Live 8. People don't have the money to give at the moment. It's a big issue for everyone. And I think it's a little bit tone deaf from I think it's a little bit tone deaf from the VGC to put out a statement like that, rather than, we understand situation is difficult. We need help. If you can help, please help. Instead of, why haven't you renewed your season tickets? It's a bit. I think it's a bit tone deaf.
Do it now.
Yeah.
Hey, Thasso, you got a fan. I don't care what anyone says. Thasso is underrated. There you go.
I'm rated exactly as I should be.
He's the Michael Carrick of podcasts.
Oh,
underrated.
Thanks, I guess.
Yeah, come on,
Michael Carrick.
But yeah, those are my thoughts. I don't know what you guys think. I kind of took over that bit, but
I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm just tired of talking about financial problems at football clubs now. I'm just tired of it.
Yeah,
it's like we've done this all season. It's almost every club.
We're gonna do it more. I think it's gonna.
Yeah, we are gonna do it more, aren't we? For crying out loud, honestly. Please, 2024-25 change. Anyway,
hold on. Before you say it, Bazinon has a very good comment there.
Go on.
So, do you want? Shall I read it in Greek and then translate it?
Yeah, go on.
Καλά ρε παιδιά, δεν θα έπρεπε να υπάρχει κάποιος κανονισμός ή έλεγχος να ξοδεύονται όσα είναι τα έσοδα για να διαφυλάζεται η οικονομική υγεία της ομάδας και να είναι συνεπής στις υποχρεώσεις της. So, in English is, come on guys, shouldn't there be some kind of a rule or check or say criteria so that teams don't spend more than their income, so that the economic health of the team is sound, and that they can actually pay for all the things that are required. And my answer to that question is yes. Yes. Yeah. We've got what?
Well, you got FFP to worry about in the future.
FFP, yeah. So, but the clubs have criteria. They have criteria they need to pass to start the season.
They have criteria every month. It's not
every month. So it's not just the start. I thought it was just the start of the season to make the checks.
No, every month. Every month they have. criteria.
So how have, I'm not going to put clubs under the bus, but how have clubs not
managed to do that?
Yeah.
They come in terms with the football players. They agree with the football players, but it's not every month that you have to go so deep in the criteria. I mean, the basic criteria about payments and all this stuff, it's not every month, but it's every month that UEFA is looking, is staring, is watching, and the Cyprus Federation.
Yeah, but the Cyprus Federation said, so UEFA, said that the criteria checks that the Cyprus Federation are doing was it excellent?
Excellent, fantastic.
Excellent.
Yeah, because they're doing a good job agreeing with the players and everything, and they pass the criteria. Anyway, as Stel said, if we're going to talk about economics now, we're not going to finish until, I don't know,
Yeah,
not
until 3 o'clock in the morning, yeah.
Exactly.
Anyway.
We've done what? Any more for this one?
No.
Okay, right. So we've done an hour and 6 minutes. There's 2 games left, and we're going to go to your team, boys and girls. Well, just you two boys. Abuel beating Buffalo by 2-0. Kavili scoring from the spot. Blatant penalty there. Shebak moving into almost a centre forward position. Where have I heard that before? Kavili stepping up, putting the ball in the bottom corner. 1-0 to Abuel. And then Marquinhos with a wonderful finish from close range. Second bite of the cherry. Puts it top bins. Happy days for Abuel. The pressure has dropped a little bit on Sapinto. Boys, fully deserved victory, right?
I think so. That's all.
Oh, thank you for the analysis there, Thassos. Lovely.
No. Because I feel like I've taken over the conversation.
We're going to the next game. I agree with that. I mean, it wasn't one of those performances that you say, wow, what a fantastic performance the team had, especially in the first half. I mean, and I don't know whether the starting the game at 5 o'clock with the sun in that stadium, Stadios Kyriakidis, you could see the players suffering, sort of running and being more, let's say, energetic. That's what I felt watching it from home because I was sick. I didn't go to the game. But what counts now, it's the 3 points, not the performance, not the extremely good football that you play. And Thasso, what do you think? First half, Abuel was very bad.
I mean, both teams.
I'm honest.
Both teams were very bad. It was a very boring game.
At least Paphos had an excuse that had a game on Wednesday, and they're thinking about the return game tomorrow at Alpha Mega.
Correct.
Whereas Abuel was coming with a very bad performance result against Anorthosis, and still they didn't perform at all.
No, that first half was it was quite dire. I mean, yeah, like you said, Vaso, Bafo were thinking about the cup game.
Yeah.
So they made 5 changes. You know, there was no Bokai starting, no Jairo, Valakari, Rus, and Pepe were all on the bench.
Mm-hmm.
So, in essence, you don't want to say that Bafo basically threw the game away before it started.
No.
Those players were trying.
Yeah.
It's just, it's.
Zaza is not a bad player to play, or Dragomir, or Tankovic, or the other guys they used.
Yeah.
Oh, of course. Paris Saint-Germain is winning 2-1. Dortmund is winning 2-1. If you don't mind saying the results.
No. Is there, there's people watching that probably I kind of doing this at the moment with the
Barcelona playing with 10 men. Anyway, yes, continue.
Yeah. But yeah, I think the Abuel players were nervous as well. You know, I keep talking about the psychology. I keep talking about the psychology of the players a lot, and I think the result and the reaction to the result affected the players quite a lot. I think, and they were trying to feel their way back into the game. And obviously that opened up a bit more in the second half. I think as well, Lonnie's coming on kind of changed the game a little bit. different kind of player on the right wing there. Vassos couldn't deal with him as much as they were dealing with Nongala. I think the second half, players pushed on, got the result that was needed. There's a thing on the second goal. A lot of Vassos fans were, at least on Twitter with me, were saying that how come they didn't blow for a penalty on Valakari? Now I've looked that back, and
it was outside the box.
Yeah, that's the first thing. The second thing is, if it was given, I'd be complaining. If it was given as a foul, I'd be complaining about it. So it's just one of those. Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. But either way, the best team kind of in the match at the end won, I think. But for all the industry that they had in the first half, they kind of lost it in the second. And then they brought on Abdul Salamov, which I think he's just there for sponsorship money for Bafo. If you look at his stats in the Cypriot Championship in the 3 seasons he's been, as a forward, he has no assists, no goals, and a sending off. So I don't know why he's there. I don't know why.
Yeah, it should be. There is a reason behind it.
That's what I mean. Now, the other thing as well that happened is Bafos, for the first time since I've started doing this, won't get fined for not playing enough Cypriots. They played 2 against Aboel, so they won't get fined this time round. Aboel will. but
water is wet.
Yeah.
I don't know whether Stel you watched the game of Apoel or not, but the strange thing with Apoel is that when they have the lead in the league by 4, 5, 6, 7 points, they mess up. When it comes down to a point, previously against Omonia, against Aris, against Anorthosis, they beat those teams and they remain top. I don't know why this is happening, but is it a coincidence? Is it something else? But the last 4-5 months, guys, if you watch the results of Apoel, when they take the lead by 4, 5, 6, 7 points, we would say, oh, it's finished now. It's finished. The next weekend, they lose. We lose. And then when it comes to big games, winning, they come with a 1-0 win at the 2-0 win. Correct?
Yeah. I think it's
one of those things. I just think it's one of those things. I don't think that they're being complacent. Perhaps I haven't seen the team sheet history over the last few weeks. So I don't know how many changes Sapinto makes every game. Doesn't make many, no. I don't know. So
I think the most he did was between this last game and Bafo.
Yeah,
most changes to the first.
I think it would be interesting to see the statistics on possession and chances created in the last half hour or the last 20 minutes of games, because you might see a drop off in possession, or you might see a drop off in chances created, or even the first 20 minutes how other teams set up against Abuel. Because I know, just going back to the Omonia game, Abuel were just dominant on the ball, but we were just soaking everything up and hitting Abuel on the counter attack. Whereas against Bafo, I think two underlying factors contributed to Abuel's victory. Number one, Sapinto went back to the drawing board, went back to the system that he played at the beginning of the season with the 2 wing backs that are just bombing forward, getting into central areas. You got your wingers popping in the middle of the park, and you got the 3 central midfielders with Kostadinov just holding, with Sarfo and Dalcio pulling the strings out wide in support. And the second factor, the aggression. There was more aggression from Abuel than Bafo. Now, it might go back to what you said, Vaso, about Bafo having a game midweek or tomorrow, should I say, and them having one eye on it. But it just seemed to me that Abuel were more aggressive in everything.
Yeah,
so
they want. they wanted the game more than Paphos did because, okay, as a club, you have your priorities. I mean, you cannot go, and I don't judge anybody. It happened in Cyprus, it happened in Spain, in England, everywhere. You use players that you don't use so often because there's so many games played. And Paphos is one game away from their first ever FA Cup final. And in the league, they're fifth, so many points behind. So it's normal for the coach, to what I believe, to make those 4 or 5 changes he made, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, for
Yeah.
sure.
I think.
Huh?
Sure.
I think so. I
It's
don't
easy.
think many Paphos fans were complaining about the result in the end.
It's easiest for Paphos to go to the final and ask, and it's a final, it's a 50-50, whoever plays against whom, than to finish third in the league right now, 3 games before the end. Or it was 4 games before the end.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, they got Apollon in the cup tomorrow.
Yeah.
And with Apollon having nothing to play for apart from the cup, that stadium is going to be on fire. Well, hopefully not literally, but you just know those fans are going to be well up for it, man. Well up for it.
And
I don't think Buffalo will fancy it.
Yeah. And you remember when in the first round of our championship, when Apollonas with Milojevic was doing quite well, Paphos came to Alpha Mega after losing maybe to Omonia, I think, 0-2 at
2-0, yeah, that's right, yeah.
And Apollonas, from that game, started the downfall of Apollonas when they had Hambos, Kyriakou was sent off, you remember, with Bruno, the incident. And from that game on, Apollonas, for 4 or 5 games, didn't score a single goal, if you remember, guys. So maybe it's going to be again the same thing. I don't know. It's a knockout game. It will be very, very, very strong and tense game. And I was surprised, we didn't discuss about this, about Valbuena's decision, about Mr. Matsin decision, not using Valbuena. Stelios Kyriakidis. Then he flew to Athens to go to Olympiakos Fenerbahce to get his medal, let's say.
Yeah.
And then he started him against Salamina.
Yeah.
And then what happens? Just a bad moment. You lose your best player. You don't have him for the 2-game semifinals.
What I've seen as well with Valbuena is over the last month or so, he's been a bit petulant. Like I've seen, like he's been, because obviously he's playing in games that don't really mean anything. So I think I watched a game where he was playing, and for the 75 minutes he was on the pitch, 74 of them he was yelling at somebody about something.
His teammates.
Yeah, well, not just his teammates, the coach. He was like yelling at Mashin as well. He was yelling at the referee, the assistant. And when he got injured against Nia Salamina, he got yellow carded because the referee told him to get off the pitch on the near side, closest to him. And he went, and decided to walk off the pitch towards the dugout. So he walked all the way across the pitch instead of coming off. So the referee gave him a yellow card, and you see him go like, So yeah.
Nera Thassos, like his quality. He knows how to hold the ball.
So good.
He knows how to win fouls, to waste time. Yeah. And when the game was 1-1 with Paphos, even if you didn't start him, he didn't. The coach decided not to start with him. When it was 1-1 and Paphos were anxious and stressed to break down the Apollon defense, you could use Valbuena to hold the ball, win some fouls, or even on a counter-attack to give a through ball or an assist or something. And I was amazed that he wasn't used.
Yeah.
Because for me, having Valbuena in our league at this age is a jewel. Let's say he's phenomenal for me. He's a very good player.
He's so good. He's so good. I mean, we've
He's
seen it in his
39
goals.
years old, 40 years old, guys.
Yeah, and
I have
he's,
this.
he plays when he plays. He's like sprinting, like doing like full pitch sprints as well. Like he gets the ball in the defensive third, and he ends up in the attacking third in the same movement. He's a very good player.
Ρε Στέλλα, το εγώ και Θάσο, δηλαδή εγώ αν ήμουν στα Κυπριακά, διότι έτσι μου φταίει, αν ήμουν ο παδός του Απόλλωνα, δεν μου στο είπα, θα έμπαινα μες στο ύπο και να πουνιάρω τον προπονητή. Όχι πως είμαι δίκος, ρε κουμπάρε. Αλλά ρε κουμπάρε, να μην το βάλω ούτε ένα λεπτό. This is my opinion, guys. I don't know whether you disagree or not. Αλλά...
No. He should have been in that game and not Nea Salamina game.
Even for 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah.
I think something's happened. I think something's happened between the coach and the player, because you don't leave your best player out in a semi-final. You don't, unless something serious has happened. Whether it be an injury.
No way. It's because he thought about the game the way he thought. He explained at the press conference after. I wanted to take a result back to Limassol where I can win the game in Limassol. I mean, that's what he explained. I don't think that... I don't know. What do you think?
I don't. There's Valbuena is a player who comes with a very big pedigree, and he expects a lot from himself and from the people around him. And this season, that's not happened. And I think there's been some very frank conversations in that dressing room. And some people have disagreed with each other, and I think that's what's gone on. Now, Valbuena being the professional, he's playing when he's been asked to. He's not going to be happy about it, but he's doing his job.
Yeah. Well, put it this way: could you imagine if let's say Abuel reach a cup semi-final? Can you imagine Sapinto turning around and saying to Marquinhos, "Sorry, mate, you're going to have to sit on the bench because I want to play a certain way."
Stelmo, sorry to say, but Marquinhos the last 2 months with Valbuena in this year Apollonas is a big difference.
No, I know, but what I'm saying is, give you another example.
Let me tell you in response.
Valbuena είναι όπως την Όαση μέσα στον Απόλλωνα. This year Apollonas.
So what I will say to your question, Stel, is he left Kvilidaya off the first team against Anorthosis.
Okay, let me give you another analogy then. Let's say, for example, prime Barcelona under Pep Guardiola. Guardiola turns around and says to Messi, "Sorry, mate, you're sat on the bench for a semi-final of a Champions League." Would he do that?
No.
You will do the same. You will do the same thing I would do with if I was Apollon Obados on Wednesday.
But this is what I'm saying. So imagine a head coach saying to his best player on the day or the day before, I don't know when they give the team sheets to the players these days, right? Okay. Let's say the day before when he's preparing, he says, "Sorry, Matthew, you ain't playing against Buffalo." Can you imagine how much trouble that's going to cause? I'm not going to play against Buffalo. I'm going to play against Salamina. What? Come and think about it. So I think something has happened between the coach and the player. And I think what the coach is trying to do is trying to stamp his authority to say, "I'm going to be here longer than you, son. So deal with it."
But this is the way backfired big time. This is the way you stamp your authority, by hurting your own team.
I don't think it's the right way. But then again, if the player been look, we don't know what's happening in the background. Okay, you guys probably do. I don't know, but has he been a disruptive influence? I don't know if he's been a disruptive influence or not. I don't know what his attitude is like around the club. I don't know. But it seems bizarre that a coach would drop his best player unless the coach has been told to drop his best player by someone else.
No. I think it's for tactical reasons he did that. My opinion.
Okay.
Well,
if that's the case, then he's bloody bonkers. But anyway, I'm sorry, he lost it. He's lost the plot. So there's a question here for you guys. If Sapinto wins the title for Abuel, which is very likely, do you guys think Abuel should stick with him? Should or will, Mario?
I'll go first then, Fassel.
I'm going to
No,
get the cigar out.
no, they shouldn't stick with him because he's proven to be a very disruptive influence towards the fans, towards the Digisi. He was out for 4 months, because of attitude issues. And it's not, he can say what he wants about changes in behavior, but it's something that has occurred throughout his career that has led to him leaving clubs because of it. And as well, second thing is he needs to agree with the terms of the contract. Now, if he goes in there and says, I want stupid money to stay, then, that will affect the team's budget. So there's a question there as to, do you pay more for a head coach, or do you get in another head coach who doesn't demand as much from the Vigisi, and you're able to increase the budget on the actual playing team? That's my thought.
You're waiting for me?
Well, yeah.
I prefer not to
Absolutely.
answer this. I prefer not to answer this question because I've been with Protomos the last 20 years, and to some people I was his right hand, and I know how he thinks and he reacts and everything. I would prefer ask me 3 weeks after, and I will tell you what is going on.
When the season's done, yeah. So there's a title to wave around.
If Apoel wins that title, ask me what is my opinion. It's now 3 games before the end. I prefer not to answer to this.
Okay. Well, let's move swiftly on to our final game then, which was kind of like a game of basketball, I think. Anyway, it was AEK with a last gasp winner against Ari, 97th minute. But there were 3 goals disallowed. 3 goals rightly ruled out for offside. All 3 of them, I think they were, weren't they? All 3 of them offside. Yeah, all 3 of them were offside. So, yeah, Ari will feel a little bit aggrieved. I mean, I spoke to Morgan and he was a little bit upset with his goal being disallowed. I mean, he wasn't complaining about the decision, but obviously it was a wonderful finish and that would have been the winner, being in the 92nd minute. But VAR did its job, and lo and behold, from a set piece, bosh, header, bounced in, goalkeeper doesn't like it, 1-0 AEK, pandemonium. They're still in the title race, boys and girls. And this was a really good game. Really, really good game.
Quality game, I think. It was up and down, the ball. I mean, and the emotions changing from the 1 goal disallowed, and then the other team scoring another goal being disallowed. Then Kakorin hitting the post.
Should have scored though, shouldn't he? Should have scored.
Yes, I think he thought that he was offside. I don't know whether he was.
Remember Ronnie Rosenthal for Liverpool against Aston Villa back in the day? Just like that.
I remember.
It was like that.
But
he was wearing the green shirt. I think he missed.
Yeah, as well. Yeah.
I even remember the shirt that he. I mean, both teams played quite well, and watching Aris playing against Omonia in the league and in the cup, the team that faced AEK was a different team. They were very good. They were very energetic. They were very intense, and AEK also performed quite well, especially in the first half, changing the ball very fast. And there was, I didn't see with AEK this quality, let's say, before. I mean, I was pleasantly surprised the way AEK played, because when I saw them against Apoel, even they scored early, they didn't kill the game. They didn't create a lot of chances. They only created chances after the 1-2, and also after the 1-0 when Dongu was on the right and he shot wide. You remember, guys. But it was one of the best games I watched, guys, in the Cyprus League this year, I believe, in terms of intensity, the mixed emotions and everything. I don't know.
They had a good game last season at the Arena, didn't they? Was it the 4-3?
4-3, yeah.
4-3.
Yeah.
You're always going to get an entertaining game with those 2 teams because neither of them know how to defend. They don't know how to defend. There's no other way. It's just attack, which again
Yeah.
for the neutral is fantastic.
Yeah.
You're right.
Well, okay. So league table, Thassos. Let's get the table up. Go on, son.
Now am I doing it? Aboil
Yes.
first with 69 points. Nice. Aika second with 68 points. Omonia third with 65. Arisa fourth with 61. Paphos a fifth with 57. And Anorthosi a sixth with 52. And then there's the Group B, the nothing's happening, is Aboil. I've gone Aboil again. I did it again.
Well, you never know. You never know.
This is again. I did it 2 weeks ago. Right. Apollon are first. It's because is the way that it's done on the screenshot is it has Apollon first. So and Aboil first. Anyway, Apollon are first in Group B with 55 points. Aila second with 47. Achna third with 46. Nea Salamina are fourth with 44. Carmodisa fifth with 35. Voxa are sixth with 25. Othellos are seventh with 23. And right at the bottom there, Aes with R in brackets next to them with 17 because they're down.
Here's something which might rattle a few people. We were talking about the Austrian league and the Belgian league and I think the Danish league where they've got a European playoff thing. Can you imagine if they decide to go first place of Group B plays third place of Group A for the European spot?
Is it fair?
No, but can you imagine if they do it? It would be Mappa. That'll be it. That'll be it. Right, that's all. We've done an hour and a half. Shall we fire through the rest of the news?
Rest of the news. So we've got some stale Vrionides that we got from Wednesday last week. We can go through those very quickly.
Let's go.
It's time to spin the wheel. What is coming? We don't know. Spin the wheel now.
Oh, I missed that wheel. I missed it so much.
We've got because we were recording on Tuesday because of the cup games. It means that we have to look at last week's stuff. So some of this stuff that's been talked about happened like 2 weeks ago, which, as people know, in the Protathlima, that means like 3 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So, first thing, Shpilevsky has been fined for screaming at the Citavision commentators when he was up in the stands. That's the first thing. The second thing is, this is something that keeps happening, and I really wish they would keep their saliva in their mouths where it's supposed to stay. But now Salamina have been fined because their fans spat at someone in the 95th minute of their match versus Garmiodissa.
DJ Khaled, another one.
Another one as a keep it in. Now, there's also a fine for abusive and or obscene and or vulgar abuse towards someone in the 85th minute. Now, Savas Kipru, who is listed as other staff on the Cyprus FA website for Karmiodissa, was also fined for his poor behaviour from the bench in their match. So something happened there between him and the fans. I'm guessing somebody was doing this Haralambidis style or somebody. But we'll never know unless you found something still. Did somebody still send you something? Anyway, AEK have been fined because their fans threw a plastic object that hit an assistant ref on their head. The fans also jumped over the protective railing of the door leading to and entered the playing area with the intention of attacking the ref further. Now, if people remember last week, Omonia 2 Electric Boogaloo were on the TV, and Stel pointed out a guy with a mask chasing after an assistant ref after a goal went in. So I'm pretty sure that's going to come up in Vrionides' stuff tomorrow. See what he says about that. points deduction. Omonia are no longer promoted. Anyway, and this last one as well is not necessarily to point fingers at a specific club being not able to organise a piss up in a brewery, but AES Sagagiu and their assistant under-17s coach Christos Kollados have been fined because he doesn't have the minimum UEFA B coaching license. You know, the same thing that Jason Puncheon kept being listed as assistant manager for, because they didn't have his proper pro diploma yet. So now the game he attended was versus AOL Omonia Lakatamia and has been given a 3-0 win to the opposition, and he's also been banned for 1 game because, you know, he's gonna have his UEFA B coaching license by the next game he's back. Yeah. But yeah, there you go. That's Vrionidis for another week.
Lovely.
Lovely.
I'm not going to play it again.
No, you're not going to play it again. Okay.
By the way, Thassos, have you seen the film Anger Management?
I have.
Yeah, I think Shpilevsky needs a bit of that Jack Nicholson treatment.
Goose Fraba.
I'm sorry, I was so rude before, but it was difficult for me to express myself when I'm on the verge of exploding in my pants.
You're gonna tag him. You're gonna clip it and tag him. Yeah.
He's gonna have a sign in the stands. I hate this is Mappa.
Oh my God. Right. Now we also have obviously some news from lower down. We've got, as mentioned previously, Omonia Harder and Omonia Radipo were confirmed as promoted this weekend. Yay! So our boy's worst nightmare, they're going to be playing against 3 Omonias next season.
Yeah, I don't think they need to worry about like the 3 Omonias. I think they need to worry about 1 in particular, because those games.
Yeah,
I'm not saying anything. All I'm going to say is next season is going to be fun. The show's going to be fun, even more fun.
Well, the thing is, Omonia Kosienia fans have confirmed that they will not be going to games. At least in the stadiums, anyway, they won't be going to games. So we might have like the whole game against Anorthosis in the cup that they had, where they had the big screens outside. Yep. Throwing flares into the ground, yeah. But anyway,
and we're still none the wiser as to where they're going to be playing, right? Or has that been confirmed?
They asked for Rasibi to play at Rasibi.
Oh,
wow!
They want to play at Rasibi, yes. Okay. And Mr. Fivos Konstantinidis today, at speaking on the radio, he said that they approached, not officially, but to see the intentions of Rasibi, whether they're interested to have 29 Omonia there. So maybe they're thinking of Rasibi.
But how can they afford it if no fans are going to be there?
And do you think they're not going to issue this Carta Philathlu thing? This flop?
Well, yeah, we're just going by what the official line is.
Yeah. I don't know. Until August, there are a lot of things to be. They will play in Rasibi on Saturday against Omonia Radipo before they decide. Yeah.
Nere. Okay.
Philly. Okay. Yeah. Also mentioned a couple more things lower down. So Box have been relegated to the 3rd division, confirmed along with Hermes. So couldn't happen to a better club.
The team that lost 4-2 last week.
Yep.
We got the message from okay.
Yeah, that one. That's the one. Yeah. Yeah, which we've not heard anything about that being investigated either. Let's see what happens. Enav are the team in the last relegation place. There's 2 games left, but they are 5 points behind Mappa. So let's see what happens. there are also the confirmed 3 teams going up to the second division are Halkano Rasidaliu and
Mhm.
Aeni Siderinas and sorry Hal, but not ABA Agrodiri,
No.
Spartakos Gidio.
Wow.
So there you go.
Yeah,
Yes,
Spartakos absolutely battered on media at the weekend. Absolutely did one over on them, and that's who I bet I've got next, I think.
Yeah, and Spartakos as well. They only got promoted into the third division last season, so they're racing up the
Back-to-back
league. Yeah,
promotions.
so we'll see how they get on next season.
Yep.
And then last but not least, Bitas somehow scored. I don't know how he scored this goal.
Amazing goal.
Are you able to show us, Stel, or are we going to get?
I don't want to risk it. I don't want to risk it.
But yeah,
I don't want to risk getting.
If people should search for it because it's somehow the ball goes out to the wing and both the goalkeeper and the defender of the other team are
The goalkeeper,
sprinting
man.
towards
The
this.
goalkeeper.
And Bitas is behind a defender and he beats both that defender and the goalkeeper to the ball and he gets the ball basically on the byline.
Like Kanu's goal against Arsenal, against Chelsea.
And he still manages to squeeze the shot through to get it into the goal from there. It's a really good finish.
It shows the quality of Peters and that he never stops running and pushing and pressing and doing everything center forwards that teams love to have.
Yeah. He's
amazing, the kid. I mean, where he was 5-6 years on loan to Paralimni, now playing at the AIK Stockholm, and he's going to move on, touch wood, to a better league, I believe.
He's what, 26, 27 now?
25, 26, yes.
25, 26.
Yeah.
He's still got time.
Yeah, he still has time, and he's in Sweden now. Everybody's watching, and well, if you want to hear about this, Barcelona 1, Paris Saint-Germain 3. Paris with 10 players from the first half. Borussia Dortmund were leading 2-0 Atletico Madrid. It went to 2-2, and now it's 4-2 to Borussia Dortmund. So if they finish like this, Dortmund and PSG are going through the semifinals.
Yep.
Interesting.
Right.
Not the two teams you'd expect.
Never say never.
Exactly. And you mentioned Dortmund. I need to say congratulations to Leverkusen for winning the Bundesliga with 5 games to go. And my mate Jasko is working at Leverkusen. He messaged me today for the first time in about 4 or 5 days. So I think he's still got a bit of a headache.
He's still drinking.
He's still got a bit of a headache, So congratulations, my guy, mein Bruder. Anyway, anything else, Tasso? Before
just on a personal note.
Yep.
Vincent Labin has started following me on Instagram, so I'm kind of done here. I can just stop.
Happy days, huh?
Yeah, I can just stop. I've got Haralambidis on Twitter. I've got Laban on Instagram. I'm going to try and get all that team that played for Gibro. Yeah, I know.
Well, before we wrap it up, I'd just like to say on Thursday, we'll be dropping another podcast. Thasso, you weren't available. You were busy. But I did an interview with Taudul, and that's coming out on Thursday. He's told us about his time at Othello, what he's doing now, and his time at Everton with a couple of interesting stories. One of them involving Royston Drenthe.
Ooh.
Yes.
Okay. So, the goalkeeper, Taudul.
Yeah.
Really? Where is he?
Yeah, he's in Poland at the moment on holiday.
Okay.
But he's Othello goalkeeper, but he was at Everton when he was 16, 17.
I didn't know.
Yeah, so he's got some very good stories. And he was training with the first team when he was 18, I think, 17, 18. So players like Tim Cahill, Arteta, Tim Howard. Yeah, he's got some stories. So yeah, watch out for that one, guys. Watch out for that one.
We will.
There you go. Well, Vassos, thank you for joining us. It's been an absolute pleasure having you on. Sorry for keeping you on for so long, but you know what happens
it's a
is life
pleasure.
demands.
Thank you for having me for 1 hour 44 minutes and 49 seconds. It was pleasure of being on. This is Mappa and the NC Network, and wish you all the best in the next shows that you have and the next pods you have, guys. Thanks for having me.
And looking forward to having
welcome.
you back on again. So, guys, this is our website, ncnetwork.com. We have an email address, contact@ncnetwork.com, if you would like to join the team, because we're looking for more people to come on board, whether it be to write, to come on the pod. Our Instagram and X is @thisismappa. Thassos is @flarescafes right there.
Yep.
And that's mine. And that's it, boys and girls. We also have the Ena Oniro Mia Efxi prize draw coming soon. If there's still time to donate, the link is there. It's also in the description. And if you want to join the raffle for the football shirts, €20 gets you in. Send us an email, charity@nc-network.com, with the name of the shirt or the club that you want to be entered in. We've got the shirt from Scotland, the Scotland national team shirt. We've got various shirts from Cypriot clubs. And yeah, loads of other prizes for as little as €1. So yeah, get on board. So until next time, boys and girls,